results just like this. Should you burn pine cones? Create fire lighters from pine cones. These are a few pine cones in two-step process in this video I'm going to show you how to make your own fire lighters from pine cones and toilet paper rolls, and we're also going to be testing them out in the fireplace today. So let's get into it. The idea behind this is the toilet paper rolls will catch fire first, they'll set the pine cones on fire, which will catch your main fuel. Now it's very simple to do this, and let's dive deep and have a look. So when you're collecting your own pine cones to make your own fire lighters like this with the toilet paper rolls and the pine cones, you want to select small pine cones. Now for example, this is a perfect one there, and we've got some bigger ones which are for this job a little bit too big. So smaller is better in this case. Now all we're going to do is we're going to get our toilet roll holder like this, select our smaller pine cones, and we're just going to push them in the middle like this. Now each toilet roll holder is going to take approximately 3 small pine cones. Now as you can see, once you do this, you jam them in real tight like this. So you push them together so they're really compressed, and as you can see, they don't come out, and this is the end product. Now the idea behind this is you light the paper from the toilet roll and the pine cones will catch, creating what is a lot of people use around the world the perfect fire starters, and it's that simple. So let's make a few more. And it's actually quite therapeutic. You know, you just squeeze in a few pine cones into a toilet roll paper holder like this, and they do create really good fire lighters, as you're going to see in this video. Now we do have a little bit of birch that we're going to be burning today, but I thought this was a really good simple way to kind of create what I feel is a really good cheap alternative to a shop bought fire lighter. But now we've made our fire starters, it's time to get to the fireplace and set the fire up and see how good these things are. We've got our homemade fire starters ready. We're actually burning a little bit of birch today, which is really good stuff to burn. It burns really hot and it burns for a decent amount of time. So let's get it into the fireplace. So now the fireplace is set up, we've got 2 nice birch logs in there, we've got a bit of kindling, and what we're going to do is put 1 toilet roll holder in there with 2 pine cones, right in the middle, just like this. And that's all you need to do, so let's get this thing lit. Minute in here, you can see that the pine cones and the toilet paper did exactly what it was supposed to do, which is just to catch the kindling on fire. So we've got a layer of birch, we've got a little bit of kindling in there, and we used 1 of the pine cones and toilet paper. So I've seen a lot online that people use wax to kind of create fire lighters from pine cones, but as I've proven in this video, you don't need to add wax, and I don't like to add wax purely because I don't want wax in my log burner because it just makes a mess. And this is a very organic, natural way of creating a fire lighter to get results just like this. Look, you could add things into the toilet paper roller, add a little bit of kindling into there, add a little bit of sawdust. As long as it's organic, burns really well, burns super clean, and burns hot and fast, you could add it to the toilet roll holder, which really, if you think about it, the possibilities are endless when it comes to creating your own fire lighters from toilet paper roll, pine cones, and whatever you decide to add into it. I'd love to know some suggestions of what you would add into this to create an even better firelighter. But as you've seen, the results speak for themselves, and just doing this basic two-step process that I've done here, which I just like to keep things nice and simple, no messing around, to get results just like that. A massive question around the world is, should you burn pine cones and should you burn pine wood? Well, I'd love to know your comments about this in the comments below, because it is a vast, some people have been burning pine cones for 40, 50 years who I've been speaking to in the comments, and some people are like, don't burn that, it's going to create creosote. Look, burning pine and pine cones will create some creosote in your flue pipe, that's your chimney. But it goes without saying, if you own a fireplace or a log burner like this, then it's up to you as a responsible adult to get your chimney checked out and cleaned monthly or yearly. It just depends. I know some people in the comments do it every 2 or 3 months. Some people do it once a year. It all depends on what you're burning. But if you are burning things like pine and pine cones, you should get it cleaned a little bit more regularly. So please bear that in mind. But just look at the results. Amazing. Amazing. And look at that. We're straight up to optimal temperature there. Straight up to the 300. Just amazing results from 2 pine cones and a toilet paper roll. So if you do burn or have birch like this, it's a really good idea to take the bark off it like this and push the bark into the toilet roll holder in between your 2 pine cones, because the bark from a birch tree just like this burns incredibly well. And as you can see, just look at that, that is perfect kindling on its own, in its own right really. But all kindling needs is a firelighter, and obviously with the cardboard catches really well, then the pine cones catch, then the bark would catch from the birch tree, which would be a really good kind of combination, shall we say. And if you've got all 3 products, you could make endless amount of them for practically no money at all. So just for reference, what I'm holding here is what we use generally in the UK to burn as a firelighter. Now these burn extremely well and they are really good. You'll see me using them a lot in my videos just because I like the consistency of them, and it's just no messing around with these things. They are really good. But what I've shown you in this video is an alternative, a DIY, be a little bit more self-sufficient, make your own, do your own thing in life. I'd love to know everyone's thoughts about this idea in the comments below. Let me know what your ideas are. If you'd like to check out some of my other videos, they're on the screen now. We get up to some really cool experiments and we just doing our thing over here. We're enjoying life, we're burning a few things, we're staying warm. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Pow!